English with deck. Hey up, hey up, hey up. Ah, just not sure what that last one was, but yeah, I was just organizing my office space, and it's definitely been overdue. You know, um, I think I've mentioned before, but you've got that list of jobs that just never ends. The never ending list. Now, some might argue that that is very disorganized. It's a little bit, I won't lie. The fact that the list never ends is probably not a good sign. Um, Maybe the list isn't actually the best way to handle jobs going on right now. But at the moment in my life, I cannot be bothered to figure out another solution. I have actually started doing, at the recommendation of a student of mine, actually, um, a slightly different method for trying to organize my week. I will quickly share that, and that is basically you draw a circle essentially, and in that circle you split it up into four quadrants. And then you have each quadrant has a name, and essentially it is. Wait a minute, let me get this right. Yeah, I just had to quickly double check. So yeah, you split it up into four quadrants, and basically, how I've done it is you have four sections, each with its own label. For example, very important and not important. Then you have now or later. So immediately or it can be put off. Now, what the idea is, on your chart, in your chart, should I say, you can allocate the job to into the correct sector. So, for example, if a job you need to do is very important and it needs to be done immediately, you would put it in the middle of very important and now. If it's not that important, but it needs to be done quite quickly, or reasonably, it goes in the not important, but heading over to the now section. And likewise, if it is not important and can be done at any time, you can put it very much so in the not important later section. So that is a very rough explanation, and yeah, that works for me actually for planning my week and even so my month. And then, like I have said before, I have my daily or my basic tasks just written down in a to-do list. But anyway, what? Back to the topic at hand. Now, yes, I was tidying up my office space and I opened this drawer, and after just rummaging through it, and then I threw some things away, and then I saw this little gizmo which I'm currently holding. Now, this bad boy, this this treasure, it was given to me by my uncle-in-law when I first came here to Japan. And it is, and was, honestly, a lifesaver. It's smaller than my phone. It's about the size of my palm in total. It's a little longer than my index finger. Okay. And it kind of reminds me of the old BlackBerry mobile phone, that kind of shape. Anyway, the name of it is a Pocket Talk. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Pocket Talk is a device which links to Wi-Fi and basically works as a translator. Basically, you speak into it in English and then it will come out in Japanese. Or whatever language you set it to, in my case, of course, Japanese. And when I first came to this country, I was, everywhere I went, I was shocked. I couldn't understand anything. I didn't know what was going on, blah, blah, blah. And then I received this, and wow, it opened up the world for me. And honestly, it got me out of a few sticky situations. It really helped me many a time. And actually, when my parents came to Japan and they went off on their own little travels, their own little jaunt, they used it, and it really helped them too. I believe. Yes, they did use it. They were not going to, but I think they did. Anyway, now, as I was saying, when I was using this daily, it became, part of my essential belongings. I have my phone, my wallet, I don't know, my notebook, for example, and my pocket talk. My keys, without fail. It was essential to my personal belonging. It became a clutch. If I didn't know, boom, pocket talk. If I didn't know, I can't be bothered to learn. I can't be bothered to read. Pocket talk, and it was great. Like I say, it was a clutch. Whether that's for the good or for the bad, it was there. And then I remember actually one day I left the house in a hurry, and I had to go meet some friends. And I was like, "Do." And then I got to my station and I realised, I've left it at home. I checked my phone. Time. Okay, I only have like 5 minutes. I can't get back in time. What should I do? Oh, panic, panic. But I left the house. I'd already left the house. There was no time to go back. I can do this if it comes to it. I have my translation on my phone. I knew a little bit of Japanese at that point, so I could survive. I hoped. Anyway, I went out to meet some friends, and I remember this. I ended up going to Shibuya Station, which is renowned for being an absolute pain. Its signage is awful. It's a maze. Anyway, finally got out of there, and I was lost. Didn't know where to go, and I needed some help. So what did I do? Well, I didn't have the pocket talk. I had to use my knowledge. I had to use gestures, etc. And I managed to find someone to ask, and I used my gestures. I used my knowledge, little as it was, and he gave me the directions. Then I got to one place. I got lost again. That was not a good day. I do remember this though, because I got lost quite a few times. And again, I had to use my own willpower. I had to do it by myself. Anyway, I got to my friends, and then it was great. And then we had some drinks, we had some food, and we went home. And then I got home, and you know what I realised? I didn't use the pocket talk. Hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need this every day. So I went out the next day without it. And I realised I got myself into another situation, of course. And I got myself out of that situation. And again and again. And then I started just throwing it into the bottom of my bag, So it was there if I really, really needed it in an emergency. And then eventually it ended up in a drawer. And it got pulled out today. Now, that just shows, these devices are essential. They are absolutely crucial. They're life-saving in many situations. But it's very easy for it to become a clutch, to become something which we rely on overly much, too much. And if we rely overly on something like this, it can hinder our progress. So definitely, if there is a situation where you have to put yourself out there, you have to embarrass yourself a little bit, go for it. And you never know what will happen. I mean, look at me. If I hadn't have forgotten it that day, who knows where I would have been. Probably still sitting here, but Anyway, that's all for today. So I hope you have a brilliant morning, a great afternoon, and a fabulous evening. Bye for now. See you in the next one.